this time we are at Lime Rock. This is last year's event, so 2022. Don't get it confused with the event that happened a few months ago, because I did not make that one. So in the last video, we left off at Mid-Ohio, which was a debut event, which overall went pretty well, but we obviously had a few issues on the car that we had to figure out. First and foremost was suspension setup, especially with the bump stop. The second major update was actually a tire change from the Falcon RT660 to the new released Bridgestone RE71rs. So I had a feeling these tires were going to have a lot of potential, and boy was I right, because they were fast. We actually ended up running a 245 on the front and a 205 in the rear, which I thought was going to be really sketch, but the car just was flying all weekend. It was incredible how good these tires were. So anyway, let's get back to the event here. This lap you see, this is actually my fastest lap in qualifying, which got me on the front row. Second place overall, which I found extremely incredible, especially since that was earned. That wasn't a freebie from a top 10 invert or something like that. And one last thing, this track is absolutely epic. Lime Rock, one of my favorite tracks ever. This was my first time here, and I was blown away how fast this track was and how high speed and flowy. And this car just worked here. So enough chit chat. Let's get to the first race.
Green flag flies, and we're racing at Lime Rock Park. O'Gorman, a strong run down towards turn number 1. Eric Catil on the outside. Smedegard looks outside 3 wide. He can't do it. We're still side by side. Catil drifts out a little wide. 3 wide in the background there, Nate, as we make our way through turn 2.
Yeah, keeping it nice and tidy there. Eric's maintained in P2 there, although a strong charge from Robert Thorne there almost snuck inside.
Robert Thorne almost had position. Andy Smedegard to his outside. A pinch point there on the entrance to the right-hander onto the no-name straight. The first time onto the backstretch, O'Gorman leads. Catil runs second. Then it's Thorne, Smedegard, Waldbaum, Hurdle. There's Vidoc in the number 1 car, the Acura Integra behind him, over the uphill for the first time.
One lap done. We got Rob Thorne right behind us taking the scenic route in the grass, and then in front of us we got Tom O'Gorman. What can I say about Tom? Tom, absolutely phenomenal driver, one of the best drivers I know. He's in a beast of a machine, the ASMS 2000, especially at this track, absolute weapon. And then also Tom probably has more seat time at Lime Rock than everybody else in this field combined, right? So this is my first time here. Still trying to learn the track, so obviously I'm just trying to finish the best I can. First place is out of the question. It's kind of like F1 these days. You know, you're shooting for second here. So that was the name of the game. Just try to run consistent laps, figure out the track, fine-tuning brake balance on the prop valve here, because my brakes weren't all figured out yet. You know, second event in the car, still trying to fine-tune this thing. And yeah, just trying to stick with Tom, and you could already tell after 2 laps, Tom is just out. He is just flying. That car is just hooked up. So let's see if I can maintain that second place.
Lavoie trailing Luke McGrew onto the front straightaway. Lavoie crosses him over. Now a drag race down the front stretch. Lavoie tucks the line, but it's going to be a challenge to outrun this Corvette. Here he comes, though, to the inside.
Not sure if he's got quite enough to get it done through Big Bend, but we'll see. If he can maintain position, he might be able to, you know, stick around.
And deeper in the field, Lavoie, has he gotten by McGrew this time? Whoa, big lockup into turn 1 for somebody. Big smoke.
That was Cutillo who locked up there. You could see the car squirming around under braking there. He is absolutely pushing to try and keep up with Tomo, but Tom's kind of checking out just a tiny bit at this point.
So a few laps later, we're on lap 6 now. Robert Thorne made his way back around Andy Smedegard, so now Robert's back in 3rd place right behind me, and he is just hounding me. Robert, another phenomenal driver. He used to do pro racing as well, and he's in a BMW E36 M3, and that thing is just a beast. Much bigger car than mine, a lot heavier, but as a result, it gets to run much wider tires, and it's also got way more aero. Pretty much the only advantage I had in this race was actually the tires. I was pretty much the only one on the new Bridgestone RE71rs. And like I said, they were such a fast tire that they actually got banned a few races after that. So, hey, you know, sometimes you gotta try to figure out any advantage you can get. And at this event, it was being the first on those tires. So, car was fast in a few sectors, but definitely in the braking zones, like right here, Robert was just absolutely killing me. And then in the slow speed stuff, the car kind of had a little bit of understeer, especially later in the session. overheating the front tires just a little bit. But yeah, just doing my best, just trying to maintain my composure, keep Robert behind me, and just hold on to that second place. And he was close. I mean, look at this. Look at that power and torque out of that BMW. And he almost went for it. But yeah, going too wide up this uphill section, extremely sketch. And you can see I pull a little bit of a gap here. So that was basically that corner, and the downhill corner was the only advantage I had. And this just went on for lap after lap. And that's the hardest thing to do as a race car driver, is to maintain your composure, run consistent, don't make any mistakes, especially when you got someone pressuring you a lot. So this was maybe 3 or 4 laps of him right on my tail. And it just continued. He would pull back up in the brake zones, and then I would inch away a little bit. He would pull back in. But yeah, it was a fun, epic little battle. And this is kind of the stuff that I live for. And as you can tell, Tom is nowhere to be seen. But what is ahead of me is lap traffic. And that's when things start to get really interesting.
Tomo is worked by Adam Jabay, Michael Herzen, and Lisa Keys as they tuck into line, headlights flashing on Catil's car. He sees the traffic. This could influence the battle for second here as we get close to the end of the race. And Thorne is seeing that and licking his lips. He's ready to pounce for second place.
Oh, yeah. If Catil gets caught up here, it's tough to get by, and it could be exactly what Thorne needs to make it happen.
Whoa.
As we get
to the outside of Lisa Keys, too wide. Catil trying to get past the lap traffic to the inside of Herzen now at turn 4, and Catil clears the traffic. So does Thorne, and that was very well done by everybody involved.
Final lap coming up right here. And as you can tell in the last few clips, managing that lap traffic is so crucial to doing well in club racing. Fortunately, Grid Life Touring Cup has pretty short races, so we normally don't deal with lap traffic that much, but this track was so short that it was definitely a factor. But yeah, final lap, Robert is just constantly hounding me every corner. He's in my mirror, left mirror, coming up there. Oh, where's he at now? Right mirror. He's all over my mirrors. But yeah, just trying to, you know, look ahead, not make any mistakes. And he was applying that pressure, but I was making sure just to kind of do enough to stay ahead of him. So yeah, pull a little bit of a gap here as always, build that buffer, and then as long as I finish these last 2 corners without any mistakes, the position was basically mine. So let's go, final corner, let's nail it, not make any mistakes, and we got a well-earned second place position.
Tom O'Gorman will continue his dominant season. He will win at Lime Rock Park. Catil and Thorne in an epic battle to the checkers, side by side. They might have overlap, but Catil will hang on for second place. Thorne in third, and Smedegard, Walbaum, 4th and 5th. What an incredible battle.
All right, race 1. How badass is that? Another second place. But this time, in my opinion, this was more of an earned second place. The one at Mid-Ohio, that was a bit of a freebie with the caution and the invert. This one, I qualified second, I held on to it, and I finished second. I was extremely proud of not only the car, but me as a driver, being able to sustain that second place with all that pressure from Robert. I was pretty proud. So yeah, epic first race. We have 3 more to go, so let's see if we can get a few more podium place finishes.
Race 2 at Grid Life Circuit Legends wheel-to-wheel racing, power to weight. We're going green here at LRP. Late green flag, and now we're racing at Lime Rock Park. Here we go, Nate.
All right, let's watch these guys go into turn 1. They're going to try to hook the inside. Looks like we're going to be too wide.
Robert Thorne on the outside now. O'Gorman tucks it in tight. Catil watching the 2 battle for the lead. Can Thorne keep overlap at the exit at 2? He cannot. Has to tuck in for the left-hander. Walbaum to the inside of his team owner, Andy Smedegard, behind him. Thorne still putting pressure on O'Gorman up front.
All right, so we got race 2. I qualified 3rd place because it's based on fastest lap time of the previous race. So that put me behind Robert Thorne, which honestly was going to be a tough uphill battle to get back around him. Once again, we got Tom on pole just because he was flying, and we got Andy Smedegard behind us. So I'm in an ASM sandwich once again, but I'm feeling pretty good about this race. Made some setup changes, and we're just going to get faster and faster and hopefully get more podiums. All right, about 1 lap finished here, settling into a decent race pace. Eyes up, looking ahead. unfortunately we have a local yellow in turn 1, some minor incident.
Front assembly on O'Gorman's car is not wobbling around. There is one car stuck at the exit of turn 1. It's kind of a bad spot for it, but it's in the runoff, so he might be able to get away with a local yellow. But the challenge is, that's a 363 of Don Lee, by the way. The challenge is, if there's a local yellow there, where do you pass around that turn?
Yes, turn 1 is definitely the #1 passing zone around here, and you have to set it up on the downhill. So that's definitely going to begin with people's minds. And you know, for the guys further back, we may have some drivers slowing down when they see that yellow. So
at this point, as a driver, you can pretty much tell if it's going to be a full-course caution. Drove by the incident, 2 cars in the gravel. You're just waiting for the full course flags, and then of course, right here in the flagger station on the left, there it is, full course caution. So then you just gotta woe it down predictably. We got Rob's hand out the window. Andy's coming in pretty hot, but he slows it down. And then, yeah, got a full course caution, which kind of breaks your rhythm momentum, but it is what it is.
The replacement, he's back on track. Full course yellow here in GLTC Race 2 to retrieve the stricken 363. And there's the green flag. We're racing again in GLTC at Lime Rock Park. A very slow paced restart. Here comes Catil to the outside of Robert Thorne towards turn 1. Here he comes around the outside for second place. And look at Smedegard to the inside now of Catil as Catil left the door open, and the 212 is going to sneak on through and try to battle him for third.
Yeah, it wasn't my smartest decision to try to go on the outside too wide in turn 1. That left Andy with a big wide open door, which allowed him to throw it on the inside. But luckily I managed to clear him in the next few corners, settle back into third behind Rob, and then set my eyes on that second place. Right here, I knew Rob was kind of weak in this corner, so I was trying to get a killer run out of it, and I managed to do exactly that. Just right up to his rear bumper, a few corners left here, probably my only chance to pass him. I'm gonna let the audio play out because this is one of my favorite passes of the year.
Catil following Thorne. Thorne launches out. Here comes Catil. Thorne's in the dirt. Catil and Thorne side by side for the race. The second place position, and Catil's got him. Catil's got second place as they drag race towards 1. And here comes Smedegard now to the inside of Thorne. Still door to door now for third. Thorne dropped 1 spot, now 2. Smedegard advances to third place. Catil to second. And Walbaum watching all of it out the windshield. And he wants to move up into 4th or maybe 3rd.
Completed, back in second place. What a move. Definitely one of my highlights of the year of 2022. So now we're back in the same position we were in race 1. Try my best to not lose Tom. Try not to spin the car. The car, for some reason, was killer loose in this race. And yeah, just hold on to that second place. Can we get 2 races in a row? I'll have to wait and find out. 2 laps to go. Car's flying. Still pretty loose. We got Andy behind us. And this corner was just so challenging. The car was pretty loose, but you go a little bit too far over, you hit the inside curb, it unsettles the whole car. You go too far on the outside, you hit the outside curb, unsettles it. And of course, the last corner, always sketchy. But here we go. Final lap. Still holding on to that second place. And I think we did it. 1 more corner to go.
Final time, Tom O'Gorman for the 17th time this season will pick up the checkered flag. Distance is Catil. Eric Catil battled for second. He got it. 2 for 2. Second place is for Catil this weekend. Smedegard third. Thorne dropped to 4th. Then Walbaum, Vidoc, Hurdle, Pappas, Lavoie, and Alessandrini, a top 10 runner again in GLTC Rosenberg. And then right behind him, that is Eric Thompson in that 88 Celica. Great run for Thompson.
All right, that's 2 for 2, baby. 2 seconds. I'm pumped. As you can tell. But the challenging part now is that rewards weight is added on podium finishes. So with 2 second places, that means I got an extra 100 pounds. And that's going to make race 3 rather difficult. Alright, this video got a little longer than expected, so I'm going to cut it in half and end it here. Let's just say we had a lot of good race footage to cover, so got a little long. But before I end this video, I wanted to leave you guys with some awesome pictures because there's so many incredible photographers at these events, and I really love showcasing their incredible work, like these pictures from the Larry Chen feature, and then of course my good friend Rob Wilkinson, who always produces fire. So thank you, photographers, I appreciate you. So catch part 2 in the next few days. And please guys, bear with me. I'm still new to this YouTube and it does take me a while. See you later.